guys, get used to that. There's a lot of that this week. This is NXT Graded. Keith Lee kicks us off in the ring, surrounded by the Full Sail faithful who are alive for Keith Lee. He's talking about his match next week with Roderick Strong. Gets interrupted by the Undisputed Era, who just mug him in the centre of the ring and give him a Pillmanizing. It's where they put the chair on your leg and they try and break Lee's leg. Ciampa comes out for the save, but the damage has already been done. A passionate start to NXT this week. Giving it an A. Keith Lee on the mic is gold, and the Undisputed Era were aggressive. Like they want to shut down Lee before they even get to next week, and they try to do that here. Everything felt right about this. It gets an A from me. Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic action as the BroserWeights, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, take on South Wales Subculture, Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. Really hot match to get started. You know what? Mandrews and Webster look great in this one. Lots of really creative back and forth with Riddle and Dunne. There's a great bit where Webster does a roll-up onto Riddle, and Andrews is standing over him, protecting him like he's protecting an animal giving birth. Pete Dunne responds to this by just punching Andrews in the face, and he falls back into Webster and breaks the cover that way. Oh, liked it. There's a nice bit later on in the game where Mandrews does a victory roll over the apron through Pete Dunne, rolls across and then hits a tornado DDT onto Riddle. Some really nice bits from those lads. However, it's not their night after Riddle decks Flash Morgan Webster with a Bro Derek on the outside. It leaves Mandrews wide open for a combo move. Bitter end with a bro kick. A broter end, maybe? 1, 2, 3. BroserWeights move on in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. A+ from me. Everybody brought their game in this one. And it was a solid match, just full of moments you couldn't take your eyes off. We get a recap of NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2 Electric Boogaloo Part 7 on Ice Turbo Championship Edition. In particular, Imperium getting attacked by Undisputed Era as the show was going off the air. Imperium are coming to NXT next week, and they're looking for the Undisputed Era. Just a request to WWE, if you don't mind. I know obviously we're building to Worlds Collide, NXT versus NXT UK. I'm at the York tapings tomorrow for NXT UK. If all the exciting stuff can happen on night 2 instead of night 1, I'd really appreciate it. Tommaso Ciampa is out for a chat. He wants Goldie back. He wants his life back from Adam Cole. The Undisputed Era, in a rinse repeat from earlier, rush the ring and start attacking Ciampa. Who else comes out for the save than Johnny Gargano? Cleans house of Cole, Strong and Riley. Leaves Bobby Fish in the ring to eat the old school classic, the meeting in the middle from DIY. Ciampa and Gargano, DIY. Chants across the crowd for DIY. No handshake, little nod, and then they part ways. After this segment, we get a tweet on the screen from Wolverhampton boy Trent 7, who has seen DIY getting back together and moots the idea of DIY versus Mustache Mountain at Worlds Collide. Ho, ho, ho. That whole segment was an A for me. Again, it was just a really nice, tight, well-structured bit. It was the same as what we saw earlier, kind of, but I still really enjoyed it. Like, Ciampa's bit on the mic was great. Undisputed Era are just this pack of animals that are wiping everybody out. And we're getting DIY. Lots to love about this bit. And just like that, it is time splitters time. Kushida and Alex Shelley back together, reunited, and it feels so good, taking on Grizzled Young Veterans in Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic action. I tell you what, these guys haven't lost a beat. So weird seeing Alex Shelley in an NXT ring, but he looked great. They work over the Grizzled Young Veterans until they get an opening, hit a double drop kick on the low, and they even hit a Poetry in Motion. I don't think the Beatles ever sang Poetry in Motion, so we can't make the Scouse reference through Gibson, but never mind, it's all right. Grizzled young vets work over Kushida and Shelley until they get their fight back, and Shelley and Kushida just start lighting up on the veterans once again. Some great double team offense from Time Splitters. Oh, beautiful. However, tonight wasn't the night, as it looked like Kushida was going up top for something. Drake throws him to the ground, leaving Alex Shelley wide open for a ticket to mayhem. 1, 2, 3. Surprise! Grizzled young veterans have just pinned Alex Shelley and Kushida. I genuinely thought this would be the night of the Time Splitters. Nope. Zach Gibson gets on the mic afterwards and says they're a great team, but they're from wrestling's past. They derailed the reunion tour, and they will soon be recognised as the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic winners. A+. Again, I'm doling out the A's this week, but this was A+. Everybody works so well together. Zach Gibson is a phenomenal tag team wrestler, and James Drake is an excellent wrestler as well, but Gibson's got so much potential as a singles guy. When that happens, I will be very excited. Make that a thing. But overall, everybody worked well together. A+ for me. Robert Stone brand and Chelsea. This is where we find out from Robert Stone that Chelsea is so much better than everybody else in the women's division that she will not be competing in tonight's Battle Royal. And you'll see her another time. Nice, short segment that got over Robert Stone and Chelsea Green. Liked it. Robert Stone brand, obviously this is the gimmick that Robert Stone has been doing for a while now. I can't help but feel like he looks like Tony Khan. I know this isn't an AEW based gimmick, but I can't help but see Tony Khan there. I can't. And I'm sure that's part of the fun, right? Finn Balor talks up the greatness of Ilya Dragunov, his opponent for Worlds Collide at Royal Rumble weekend. He says, if you're going to come at me, Ilya, you better not miss. Step up and I will put you down. What Finn Balor did here was he made Ilya Dragunov in less than a minute look like a star on the level. And this is what I really loved about the Worlds Collide build, is that NXT UK looks on the level. Like, we've just seen Grizzled young veterans beat Alex Shelley and Kushida. Like, they're on the level. Like, imagine if in 2001 the Invasion had been like this, and you had like a fair, even amount of back and forth wins and losses from both sides. You'd have made money forever. But this feels really good. Like, the build to this has been great. Like Finn Balor's not overlooking Ilya Dragunov, and I really like the way they did this. Angel Garza is on commentary duty as Isaiah Swerve Scott takes on Tyler Breeze and Lio Rush. Triple threat match, the winner getting a place in the Fatal 4-Way for the Cruiserweight title at Worlds Collide. And as you can imagine, with the players involved in this was fast-paced, this was frantic, this was excellent. Some great spots where everybody works together in this. Saw a Tower of Doom from the apron, which I thought was brilliant. A superplex into the ring, but also a German suplex happening at the same time. It looked really great. Tyler Breeze looked like he was about to steal it, actually, hitting that beauty of a spinning wheel kick onto Lio Rush. But Isaiah Swerve Scott sees his opportunity to kick Tyler Breeze when his back's turned and nails him with the JML driver. 1, 2, 3. Swerve Scott is in the Fatal 4-Way for the Cruiserweight title. So much upside to Swerve Scott. So these are the right choice to put into this. And I'm giving this match an A as well. I know, boring old Tom, always giving A's. It's a great week. It's a great week this week. This was another really solid match between three very well-meshed talents. It's an A. After we hear from Rhea Ripley about the #1 Contenders Battle Royal in the main event, we go outside Full Sail, where Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa are chatting away. Ciampa thanks Gargano for coming to his aid earlier. Gargano suggests, hey, you saw that tweet from Mustache Mountain, how about we do this one more time? We're getting a DIY reunion at Worlds Collide. It's a thing. We don't have much time to digest that, though, because all of a sudden there's security guards swarming the area as the Undisputed Era and Keith Lee are trying to be kept apart. This carnage becomes the moment where Keith Lee goes from cuddly monster to insane Volkswagen with legs as Keith Lee pounces a security guard into the hedges. He throws another one onto a car, hoists another one into one of the big touring trucks. It's phenomenal. This is the most aggressive we have seen Keith Lee since he made his debut. And I think a lot of people thought Keith Lee might not have that mean streak in him. He might just be too much of like the lovable big lad. Keith Lee's a monster and he will eat your face if you upset him. And so we come to main event o'clock. It is a battle royal to determine the #1 contender for the Women's Championship. Some notable entrants in this battle royal include Casey Catanzaro. We thought she was done with WWE altogether, but there she is. Tegan Nox is back. First time we've seen her since she got battered at War Games. Good to see her back in the ring as well. Shayna Baszler turns up in this one as well as a surprise final entrant. In the mix as well is new NXT lady Shotzi Blackheart, who's ready for action. I'm excited to see Shotzi do stuff in NXT. Mercedes Martinez makes her NXT debut as a signed talent. She's been on before, but now she's officially on the books as a performer for NXT. This is her first outing as it, and it's in a big old battle royal. The field thins out to the final 5, which is Bianca Belair, Io Shirai, Tegan Nox, Mercedes Martinez, and Shayna Baszler. We see Baszler and Martinez going back and forth. There's some potential here, fighting, kicking and punching, and it looks like Mercedes is trying to get Shayna over the top, but Shayna grabs her with the leg scissors, takes her down out of the ring that way. Mercedes is gone and Baszler's still in. Let's pop a pin in that particular feud. We'll come back to it later. Tegan Nox lights up the ring at this point, and it looks like Nox is just going to wipe out everybody. Nox goes up to the top rope, and suddenly Dakota Kai appears and hoists Nox off the top rope, landing her on the ground. Nox makes her exit. So Tegan Nox is on the ground as Dakota Kai makes her exit from the ring. Pop up a little pin in that feud there as well. So it's Belair in the ring along with Io Shirai and Shayna Baszler. Baszler's got the clutch locked in, or trying to lock the clutch in on Io Shirai. Then suddenly, Shotzi Blackheart appears through the ring. And I had to go back and check this. Shotzi Blackheart, in all the carnage, about in the first couple of minutes of the match, fights outside the ring with Deonna Purrazzo, but doesn't actually get eliminated. So Shotzi's still in the match. Shotzi rolls in, and to a thunderous ovation, hoists Shayna Baszler over the top rope. Star making. As Shotzi stood in the ring, like admiring her handiwork, as Amaro says, the opportunity from Belair comes and she just hoists Shotzi over the top rope as well. A surprise exits for Shayna Baszler, and a surprise big old push for one Shotzi Blackheart. But it comes down to Belair and Shirai as your final two. And these guys assemble about 10 minutes worth of a wrestling match at the end of this battle royal. Both are spent and they're doing everything they can to try and get the other one over. But everything they're managing to find a little outlet for. Eventually, Belair, almost out of nowhere, picks up Shirai for the torture rack and just almost AAs her over the top rope and to the ground, and Belair, an emotional Bianca Belair, wins the Battle Royal, and she is the #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver Portland. And she celebrates in the ring. You can tell this is a big deal for her. She's swinging her hair around, and that is how NXT goes off the air. Battle Royal for me, I'm going to give a B+. This, like, on a night that everything was so great, and it's so difficult to get battle royals right, but I thought they measured this well. I thought this was one of the better battle royals that I've seen. Some wonderful surprises in and amongst it as well. Belair winning, and Belair sort of, I was surprised. It wasn't a surprise. It was a surprise with Bianca Belair winning. She seems to flip-flop face and heel. Sort of will, it seems. Like, I can't, if you do that too many times, it's going to be difficult to kind of get a purchase on what Bianca Belair is all about. If 1 minute she's like, hey, you're all rubbish, you fans, and then she's crying her eyes out and celebrating winning a battle royal at the end. It's hard to really get a grip on what she is. I was surprised that she won. I'm sure Belair and Ripley will have a cracker I'm sure they will when they get to Portland. But B+, it was still a great Rumble. It was still a great Rumble. It was still a great Battle Royal, rather. But I don't know whether I'd have put Belair over. That's just my opinion. This was a great night for NXT, and I'm going to give it an A. Some really solid character development here, some great performances in the ring, and we've got some great stuff for Worlds Collide. I'm genuinely excited to see a lot of these matches at Worlds Collide, and they've done such a great job of putting NXT and NXT UK on the level. Big fan over here, big fan. As I said earlier on to WWE, if you could make all the exciting stuff happen on NXT UK's tapings in York on Friday, the one I'm at, I'd appreciate it. If Keith Lee wants to turn up on Friday, would not have a problem with it. Love you, bye. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. You can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/Cultaholic. Lastly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.